Yes, good evening, friends. Good evening to all. This is Arpita here. So, as we have already mentioned in the updated morning, today's topic is going to be relationships. We have heard so many things about relationships. We have understood so many varieties, so many therapies, so many situations, so many moments, all aspects, about relationships. Yet, however, there is still some space within our own being where we still need to know. We are always curious about knowing when it comes to relationships, because the true salvation, what we call the fulfillment, the peace, like life in all its fullness, it is like to be who you are, to feel within you the good that has no opposite, not as something outside or what is happening and all, but as your own innermost essence. All this is based on how well our relationships are, relationships with our own selves, our own aspects, our own personalities hidden inside. Okay, it is the true salvation. When it comes to a salvation, is to know yourself as an inseparable part of the timeless or formless one, the life from which all that exists and derive its beings, however you have come, all that is, and all in all, whatever we call, it's a state free from fear, free from suffering, free from a perceived state of lack and insufficiency. And therefore, why? Because when these all fears are there, it is from all wanting, needing, grasping and clinging and all these factors. So it is a freedom from all this compulsive thinking, right? When it comes to salvation, we think about it as a free from all these things, and above all from past and future as a psychological need. You think you can't get there from where you, from where and who you are at this moment. Sometimes we say, "Oh, salvation and all, it is not for us. It is not for me. I am not living that." Only a person who has a completion in the relationships can say that I am not getting into any salvation mode, right? Because the salvation has already happened within himself, within themselves, right? There is a deep connectivity. There is a deep connection within their own self, that everything is going intact. Only a space where, a person feels like, the relationships are not working good or anything else. Basically, relationships with whatever and whoever. Relationship is not only about a person to person. Of course, we are going to talk today about a person to person only, but relationships with anything. Okay, relationships, we are going to talk on 2 episodes. Today will be the part 1. Okay, so today we are going to talk about one person to other person. Okay, the relationships, when that is not complete, then the person might feel, then the person might feel, I'm incomplete. I need something to know. I've got something huge for me to work on. These relationships and all, no, this is not complete life. There need to be something else. Okay, it is a human tendency where we feel whenever there is an incompletion in any area of our life, we want to run for some salvation, thinking that something is there. But it is based that whenever we are wanting a completion, it is directly that connection with the universal self within us is lost. That's the reason somewhere there is some incompletion. Once that completion is made, and now you feel very confident, you feel very completion and so many things. Okay. And yes, Anup, namaste. Okay. So this is all, it is like, you think that you can't get there. There is a time, you get into a mind and you think that, you can't get there. Oh, the salvation has not happened, and maybe my relationship does not work here. From get there from where you are and who you are. whatever you are at that moment and wherever you are in the life situation, because from that perspective you may think that I can't get there, it is so difficult, okay, because you're not yet complete, or feel good enough from inside. But the truth is that here and now is the only point from where you actually can get there. Okay, now this is how we getting there is I'm not talking about something huge, something somewhere sitting and all this funda. Now I'm only talking about when it has come to getting there, it's a completion. Okay, sometimes when the relationship issues are going so bad, you may feel, oh my god, I'm completely lost. Okay, and I cannot get there, I cannot get any completion, this is going to be incomplete all the time. But the minute when you feel, okay, this moment, when you get back to this moment and accept whatever is around, now you feel, yes, I can do it. I can make it. I deserve this. There's so much of confidence comes in, because here is the only point from where you can actually get there. Not from the past, not from the future, or not from anywhere else. It's only the now. Okay. Now we talk about love and hate relationships, right? When we talk about love and hate relationships, we talk about unless and until you access the frequency of the presence inside you, the consciousness, the brightness inside you, the awakening inside you, all relationships, and particularly these intimate relationships, are deeply they are flawed and ultimately dysfunctional unless you feel complete. The person who feels, I am very happy with life, the way they say, they might not be in meditation, they might not have heard anything about this awareness programs, or they might not have known anything about life, but still they feel, I have done everything for myself. Okay, I've done everything for whatever I needed. I arranged it. I did it. It happened. It is there in life. Whenever this kind of feeling is there, this is what is the completion. Unless and until you reach the state, it is any relationship. What you feel, how much ever you feel like it is so fabulous, and a relationship, it is ultimately dysfunctional. They may seem perfect for a while. Any relationship when you begin with. Okay, when when you begin, it is so wonderful, so beautiful, and so this, that, and so many things happen. And now it's only for a while, because you were in love at that point of time. Okay, because love is basically flawless. So when you are accessing in that mode, that love inside you, you don't see any flaw in any person. But the moment the love is off for whatever reason, and now you get to see only flaws. Now you see only flaws in the person, and invariably, and the perfection is disrupted, and the argument and conflicts and dissatisfaction and emotional or even sometimes physical violence, and with the increasing frequency this goes on. Right? This is love-hate relationships. We have some relationships basically with the intimate relationships we hold on in life. This basically, the positive side, it may start very wonderfully, very beautifully, the honeymoon never ends kind. But after a while, it's like you start sinking into a different mode. Okay. We very well may label it, oh, that was not love, that was only infatuation, or that was only lust, or whatever it is. But there was an attraction, because everything is love, whether you name it as lust, whether you name it as anything, because at that moment you are very wonderful with a person, because there is a completion inside you. There is some completion inside which is happening, right? You are whole and soul within yourself. I'm complete, I'm done. Okay, next whatever comes is an additional thing which is happening in your life, right? But as of now, as of life, when it is considered to you who you are actually, and wherever you are, the feeling inside is complete. So there is so many things. When all the incompletion rises, then all this disruption and destruction and all these things start happening. The negative side of a relationship Of course, it is more recognizable as, dysfunctional of the positive one. We know that. Okay. And when it comes to, it is like possessiveness, jealousy, control, withdrawal, the need to be, what do you call, the need to be recognized, and insensitivity, and emotional demands. That's the most important thing, which, there are so many emotional demands, and there's manipulation, and there is an urge to argue whenever it's a negative side, whenever the hate kind of an system grows inside us. It is mostly, it's like, there is an emotional demand, and there is an urge to argue, criticize, judge, blame, attack. There's so much of anger, and there is a revenge. Oh, in my past this person has done this to me, and there is a revenge unconsciously, this revenge for past pain, by anybody, by rage or any physical violence, or whatever it could be, emotional violence, or whatever it could be, and there is a rage inside going on. I have to be, and that rage never ends. I have seen people, like, I've seen, I'll tell you a case study. There was a lady who had issues since childhood. She had an issues, and then after, somehow she got married, and after marriage, for certain point of time, the life was so wonderful and so beautiful, and slowly, as the love fades, okay, love fades, and there was so much of pain, so much of physical abuse, and so many things. And when these things happened from her man, and now she could not take it, and slowly she encouraged, though she was submissive, she all her life she taken it, and she has accepted it, and she valued it and everything. But after a certain point of time, it began a revenge kind inside her. Okay. And when it became a revenge kind inside her, by the time she understood and the revenge was there, the husband was no more because of the age factor. Husband left, but she carried the same revenge factor, and the energy was so thick around her wherever she landed, whether in her children's place or anything, and there was a disruption. There was a disruption happening in the child homes. This energy carries forward. Parents are the creators for the child. So whenever we are living with a parent or anything, we need to, the parent, anybody, it is me, you, whether it is parent or child, anybody, it is important for us to understand what is that unconscious revenge, for what pain we are holding inside. We need to work on that. Without working on that, we are going to damage so many things in life. We might damage somebody else's life. Okay, we might try see with the eyes of all revenge. We keep on watching everyone. Okay, so many things happen. Right now, on these are the negative aspects which happen. And now on the positive side, when you are in love with your partner, this is the first and deeply satisfying state. Okay, for that moment, you are very satisfied. Whether it is a long lasting or anything, or whatever, it is like, it is a satisfying state. Your existence has suddenly become very meaningful. You have suddenly become very important in somebody's life. You have become something very special. And you do, and makes you feel special, and you do the same for them. You also make them feel special, and so many things happen. The feeling can become so intense that the rest of the world is faded. Okay, and into no importance, no significance. Oh, me and my partner, we are the world for each other. Okay, there's a positive side which happens. You become addictive. Slowly you become addictive. And can love change into its opposite in an instant? When it becomes addiction, when any relationship becomes an addiction, the love can change instantly. Okay. And now you need to understand, when it is changing, it is going into addiction. Initially, it is so good, so wonderful. You have suddenly become special, and the mind is so satisfied. You are feeling so happy and so wonderful and being special. For whatever reason, slowly, as time goes by, everything changes. And now you start feeling, what was it, love in first place? Or it was just an addiction grasping and clinging. Okay, in any relationships, first we need to understand, now what is this addiction and what is the search for the wholeness. Okay, why should we become addicted to another person in first place? Why at all we should become addicted? The root of this physical urge is actually the spiritual one. Okay, whenever you are getting addicted to a person, it is the urge, it is the longing for an end to this duality. You want to merge in yourself completely. The minute a return to the state of oneness, when we are completely merged in ourselves, we feel so wonderful and so beautiful, and there is no more feeling of incompletion. It's an instant of bliss, and you are able to handle any relationship in whatever way. Even the relationship is very dysfunctional, you are able to handle it because you have become one with yourself. Okay, and as long as you are identified with the mind, see the ego mind, which is taking you satisfied. Oh, suddenly one person has said you are so special, and your ego mind is satisfied, and you feel so much love. Okay, you feel so much love and you feel, oh my God, that's so wonderful and all. But the minute that is not happening, and now you feel, something is lost. Okay, you get your sense who you are, when, it's like, we're talking about mind. When the mind is completely, you're identified with your mind. Through the mind, you're identifying yourself. You have an externally derived, sense of self. There's something, oh, if that person is there, I will be happy. If because this person, I'm happy. Because of this person, I'm complete. No external person is a reason for your own completion. It's only a reflection. The external thing is always reflection. All the story resides and works and moves according to the inner self. You get your sense of who you are from things that ultimately have nothing to do with with who you are, or your social positions, or your role, your external appearance, success and failures, your belief systems and so on. It is your belief systems which are actually making you to feel that so and so person is important for me. Because of that so and so person, I am complete. Without that person, I'm not complete. This part of is that in not complete. There's so many women I have seen, who are doing very fabulous in their profession and very good in this thing, but they have a grief deep within themselves that it is because of my partner I am doing so well. So without this person, my life would go. Okay, there are so many people who get into that. And it is not about somebody else. Everyone is just a reflection of the essence we hold inside. Okay, it is not about the human body, it is about the essence inside. So whenever we are there is an addiction and clinging to other person, it is because we want that completion from inside. We want to meet ourselves, we want to know ourselves, we want to feel how we are and what is happening. Okay, and if your love has an opposite, then it is not love but a strong ego. I'll tell you one thing. Today morning, I was just meditating on this aspect, and I realized I am meeting myself, and the merging is happening within the feminine and the masculine inside me. And now the reflection appears in front of me. And if the reflection is behaving opposite, then it is like, I might be the inside, it might be very pure and very complete and everything, but because everyone is coming with a different kind of learning and life lesson themes from outside. Okay, maybe that has not yet come to the state of what you have already known. Now when you have identified it, even the opposite reflection will be very familiar, and you know how to take that, you know how to move along with that, because the balance has happened here. But if the balance has not yet happened here and the opposite has happened, now you are your mind is completely blocked, because you are identifying everything through the mind. Okay, now you see, oh no, it is not that. Maybe it is, this is not my reflection. This is not the one whom I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone else. Okay. All this fundas, it's a strong ego need for more complete and more deeper sense of self. Every addiction is arised from an unconscious refusal. Some refusal. You have not accepted something which is already there inside you. Somewhere there is no acceptance. Somewhere, you through the pain which you were been holding. Maybe your ancestors might be holding some story, some part, some memory, some memory inside yourself is holding a memory which is connected to pain. You might have heard from your parents so many times, from your mother or your father so many times, that I went through so much of pain in my life, and that kept on repeating in the memory. And now you don't know, because it is not yours. You do not know what is it. And now you experience a situation to understand what that memory is actually wanting to tell you about the past, about the previous generation, and what they carried inside. You might get lost and start living the pain as if it is yours. And you may bring so much of dysfunction into your relationships. And all the dysfunction has happened, and the destruction has happened, and now you sit and realize, oh, my story is just like my mom or my father or anybody from so and so in the family members, and it is the same thing which has happened. It is the memory which carried forward. Okay, everything is an essence. Motherhood, the parenthood is an essence inside us. Okay, now when the parenthood inside us is awakened, you need to know it could be like this or it could be like this. Okay, and now I don't want both the things. You can choose. That is what you say. You are the whole responsible for your own constructivity or creativity in your life. You can choose, I do not want this. So now you play a different play. And now you begin to explore your essence, your personal individual essence. Okay, which may not be applicable to the past. It is the now. It is not in the past, not in the future. It is in the now. Okay, and the first thing that they might encounter is the focus their attention on the now. When I said it is first, you are focusing on the now, and now in their own pain. Now in that now also the pain is there. Okay, now you do not know, whatever it is, maybe it is coming from parents or it is coming from anybody else or anything. I am holding this pain. If you think I'm holding on this pain, now this is what you fear. You do not want. There is a fear. I have seen my parents suffering so many things. I am scared that my life would be the same thing. If they only know, it is like if I had known that it is how easy to access in the now with the power of my presence. That was then. It is now here. It is my presence. Why would that happen to me? Just because it happened to somebody else, that does not mean it would happen to me also. That dissolves the past. That very moment when you decide that, it dissolves the past completely, and the pain in the reality also dissolves. And it dissolves into illusion. Oh, that was their story. It wasn't my story. It was their story. Right. Yesterday I was watching a wonderful movie. I think this works here. That the father always wanted the child to go to US and work and grow very this thing. So since childhood, the father kept on telling the child that you have to go to US, you have to do that, you have to that. The child unknowingly grew with the same things, that yes, I'm going to go to US. Even in school, when anyone asks about the geography and everything, where is Delhi, where is Mumbai, he could not say, but he always says Texas, California, and all these places he used to say. Okay, there's so much of America, going to US, going abroad, going overseas is so much there in the mind. And then after he grew up, he is never happy. He's never achieving an interview, not even getting visa, and every time he's getting rejected and he started feeling bad. I'm not able to do this. I'm being so, unworthy. I don't deserve this. What is this? Everyone is settled somewhere and I'm not deserving it, and nothing is happening. And now when he thought, okay, he gets some time, 1 year of time where his visa is rejected. Until 1 year he cannot apply to it. And now but that 1 year of time, he worked on his own personal things, whatever he liked, just to cope up with that one year of time. When he did that, he was totally satisfied. He was so satisfied, and now the overseas companies are honored and welcoming this person to come there, right? So this is what happens, when we are living. Then he says, I always wanted to go to overseas. Then he says, it wasn't my dream. It was my parents' dream that I wanted to go to. They wanted me to go overseas somewhere. Overseas, it was their dream, and I started walking along with their dream and their own ideas and those things. So I could not get it. When I worked on my own dream, then it took me worldwide. Right? It is that how everything dissolves when you disconnect yourself from what you're carrying from the past. When you start access when you access the power of now in this present moment, everything dissolves. Okay, and now this is how addictions happens. Every addiction out of in a relationship is because we want to we do not want to see the pain inside. We don't want to live that pain. We are addicted. Oh, the same thing might happen. No, I'm holding it. Okay, my parents may suddenly feel, oh, my elder daughter, she got married and she got divorced, and the husband suddenly didn't take her well, and now for the second daughter they want to be even more careful, and they say, no, everything will be on daughter's name, nothing will be given to the son-in-law and all these things, and they get married and all, and at the end of the day that also gets separated. That relationship also does not work. And what is the reason? Now they're thinking, okay, now this relationship, we did so many good things, why didn't it work? We need to understand, we were looking at the present moment with the vision of the past. So that wasn't working anywhere. Whenever you look every situation with some story running behind from the past, it will not work. We have to look everything from the present moment. Okay, so this is how you can only change the state of a relationship, right? You have to be in that now only all the time. And now, how do you make this addictive relationship into enlightened relationships? Okay, this is the next point. And now, for love to flourish, the light of your presence, the wisdom of your presence, that your acceptance of your presence should be very strong, so that you no longer get or taken over by the thinker of the pain body. The pain should not take over you. Always see, that was that part, it has got nothing to do with me. Okay, whenever you understand that, then you mistake them from being, maybe because the pain you have connected to some past of some previous things, and you get into understanding that oh, it is mine because it is happening now. You say, this pain has come into my existence because I was accepting that pain as if mine, which was coming from the past. My mind was completely, I'm looking everything from the perception of the past. So everything was looking at the same thing, and I am attracting so much of pain to myself and my body. Right now, when we understand, when you are completely, who you are, it is like, to know yourself, to know whomever you are, the love and joy, and beyond this pain, and is freedom, salvation, and enlightenment, whatever these words, this is nothing but when you are feeling 100% complete within yourself. It is not about masculine and masculine. When you feel, even the parent and child is merged in one together inside you, two aspects as one, then also you feel complete. You feel so peaceful. You are done with it. You feel so peaceful. The teacher and the student, when they both have merged and very wonderfully happening, you feel so wonderful with it. Okay, when the feminine and masculine, the two opposites have come into one understanding as one form, this is so peaceful. So whenever there is a peace in every relationship, understand that the peace has come from inside. There's a completion inside. There's total completion inside. So that's the reason you are able to access so much of inner peace and silence and calmness and serenity and all these things. You feel so wonderful because the essence has got activated from inside. It has nothing to do with external. Okay, the greatest catalyst for the change in a relationship is a complete acceptance of your partner, and without needing to change or judge them in any way. That's the greatest catalyst for change. Accept the person the way they are, because however that only will tell you the partner's behavior, the partner's system, the partner's encouraging thing will only, and how you are reacting to it. The actions of one person and however you are reacting to the other person will tell you what is the completion state and incompletion state inside you with this particular aspect. Okay, you always have to understand. Okay, we need to understand that love is a state of being. You are, everyone in this world, we are out of love. We are not born out of some need or some insecurity or anything. We are all born out of love. It was because the parent in us has accepted in totality and with so much love, in spite of whatever challenges one might have faced in life. It was with so much of love they wanted to deliver us into this world, manifest us into this world. It is 100%. We are born out of love. For your own self, not for somebody else. Oh, I love my husband, that's the reason I've delivered my children. I love my wife, that's the reason I allowed her to deliver my children. No, it's not that. It is love for yourself. When you have complete love for yourself, you manifest yourself in whatever form. Form doesn't matter. Okay, because the love itself is formless. Right? It's a state of being. Your love is not outside, it is deep within you. You can never lose it and it cannot leave you. That's also a point. What you are aware of will also be aware of you. So the love can never leave you, because you cannot lose it. It is not possible. Even in the stillness, whenever there is a stillness in your presence, when you close your eyes and feel yourself completely from top to toe, when you feel yourself completely, your presence, you can feel the formless and timeless reality as the manifested life. Like I think yesterday also we have done this. When you close your eyes and you focus on your feet and every part of your body, you feel life inside vibrating. The more you are with yourself, the more you alive you feel. Right? It is like that the life itself is manifested as a physical form, as you. Right? And you can then feel the same life deep within. You are already feeling whatever you are feeling outwardly. This form which is there outside is the physical form of that essence inside me. Right? You look beyond the veil of form and separation and all. Suddenly there is a realization of oneness. That is love. Okay? True communication is communion. Okay, the realization of oneness. That's the truth. And relationship, when we come to the other point, relationship is a spiritual practice. For me, I always observe that every relationship is like a spiritual practice. Yeah. Every relationship, whether it is this thing, as long as you deny your partner, as long as you try to escape from them or wish that things were different, the window of opportunity will never open. It is always there. As long I've seen in my own life and in my close friends' life, I've seen the more they avoid the partners in the physical reality, the more the door of opportunity does not open. Okay, open up, and they remain inside the situation, which will always remain the same as, and it will keep on deteriorating further. It will be dropping all the time. It will be dropping. These things happen. It is like, as far as inner transformation is concerned, there is nothing you can do about it. As far as when it comes to, though, it's an inner transformation. Accepting as a partner is all about the inner transformation. The more you are transformed inside, I've seen so many people, even the world best enlightened beings outside, who label themselves as enlightened being, I've seen them also, as long as they have not accepted the partner, the door of opportunity never opened to them. Okay. And without that, we always see, we are somewhere, struggling in some wheel, and we end up blaming and judging each other and the others, whoever are there around. Okay. It's the inner transformation is all about. It is like, as long as the inner transformation is, as far as it is concerned, there is nothing you can do about it. You cannot transform yourself. However, you certainly, you cannot, it is not like, I say that you cannot transform your partner or anybody else in the world. It is not possible. You cannot transform anybody others. You can, all you can do is you create a space for transformation, at least to happen, for grow, and, and the love to enter. You can make so many things. It's like a sadhana. Nobody is born, as a yogi or a meditator or anything, but they set up a space for that transformation within their own self. And the practice went on, right? That's how the relationships is like a spiritual practice. It is a sadhana. If there is an anger, better know it. I am angry on this person. Maybe the percentage is sometimes 200, 300, and sometimes it's only 20, 30. But still, the anger is there. You better know it. If there is jealousy, if there is defensiveness, it is there is an urge to argue. There is a need to be right all the time. And a child inside is demanding all the time love and attention, or any emotional pain of any kind, whatever it is. Know the reality of that moment and hold that knowing. Realization is the beginning of reversal. The moment you realize that, yes, I am still holding the anger. The anger in me is acting. The person you might say, that person behaved so badly. That's the reason I got angry. No, it's just a reason. The statement itself says it's just the reason. The other person's behavior is only a reason, but the anger is already there. The pain is already there. Now the pain, yes, there still is a pain. Still the pain is not accessed, not transformed. The pain may not be, relevant to you. It might be coming from some cellular memory from the past. It's from the DNA, it might be coming. Maybe you have seen so much pain in your parents or in somebody very close family member, so much of pain. It created an impact on your life. And then you carried the same. Okay. To get yourself out from this, judgment, that does not mean that you do not recognize dysfunction or any unconsciousness when you see it. I do not say that. When I'm saying, do not judge anyone or do not blame anyone or all these things, I'm not saying, you suddenly become blind and not see anything and every time get into your own self. This is also externally you are taking in on everything. It means being the knowing rather than being the reaction. Okay. Always know it from your inside. Yes, this is happening to me. Okay. Instead of reacting. And it's reaction and judgment, whatever you do. Instead of that, just be a knowing. Just realize. If both agree, if you both in relationships with two people, if both agree that relationship can be your spiritual practice, so much the better. You can then express your thoughts. You can express your feelings to each other, and to express what you feel without blaming. Try to express everything, because it's a sadhana. Now, whenever you are in a meditation practice, you experience something you would love to share. You don't feel, oh, what is this I'm sharing? You never feel that, right? You love to share. That is what oneness is. It's a sadhana. That's the same application is on relationships. When two people come to a point, yes, let's make it as a sadhana, as a practice. so that we open a space, we create a space for this transformation to happen. Okay, let's make that a common point, because both of them have to live together. If both of them want to be separate in their own world, that's a different issue. Okay, but if both want to be together, then there's so many things which they have to talk on. Okay? Learn to listen to your partner with an open and non-defensive way. It's not like, oh, I have to hear, I heard it. I'm not blaming, I'm not judging, but you are neither listening. Learn to listen. Okay, always learn to listen what they are saying. You may like it, you may not like it. Whenever you are not liking, that means there is still a wall, with each other. There's a wall being created. It's again opened up. Okay, and now when you are listening, but you give your own viewpoint. Oh, maybe I thought this way. I think this would work more. When you say that, then you feel, oh, it's wonderful. It's a communication. There is no separation. Okay, and if you can feel your emotions, you are not, you're not far from the radiant inner body. Just, you're not when the pain body. Actually, when I'm talking about the pain body, when the pain body is being transmitted, and you no longer, it is transformed, and you no longer identify it. Okay, when you are no longer identifying your pain body with any, or with the mind, or the mental positions, and if your partner has done the same, you will experience the bliss of the flowering relationships. Okay, whenever we are dealing, whenever the pain body, we have to think that we might have seen so many situations in life, so many people's life, and that might have brought an impact on your mind. And now, because it is not yours, first to become yours, first to make integration happens. Whenever you are seeing something, integration happens. You get into your own world, you understand, try to understand that. And now when you are understanding it, it becomes your experience. Whatever images you're holding inside, that will create a situation for yourself, because this world is a platform for learning. Now everything is coming into an expressions, and in the form of situations. Now everywhere you are learning, okay, this wasn't working, this wasn't working. The pain body is talking so much. There was so much pain inside. The pain body is continuously talking. And now when the pain body is completely transformed, when you realize it has got nothing to do with this moment. This moment is totally different from what has happened in the past. Okay, now you will see how well you are able to grow, and how transformed your thought process is. Okay, this makes so much of difference. We can't stop ourselves in exploring ourselves. We need to explore. You need to be excited about your own exploration. Relationship is a medium to explore yourself. Okay, so many aspects of you, the essence is talking so many ways. One essence is talking in this way, the brighter way, and the constructive way. And the same essence, when it took reverse, it told about the destructive way. There's so many ways one aspects inside us are showing us. Now we need to deal with everything, and it is an exploration. You keep on going. So everyone in the person, everyone, whomever we come across in life, are trying to teach us something or the other. I will not say teaching, rather I think it would be more for our mind to understand. They are reflecting some quality from us. Okay, your reactions will tell you whether it is reflecting, whether the other person is reflecting your essence also, along with the other person himself or herself, or it is something, when the reaction is going on, and the other person is not even bothered about whatever your reactions, then you understand it's got nothing to do with the other person. It is something to do with yourself. Okay, you will experience. This is some beautiful thing. I have seen in so many ways, when two people think the same thing, and when they want to do the same thing, life will put the same thing in front. Okay, so I'll give you an example. One person suddenly said, I want dal makhani and roti. Okay, roti, and the mind will come, oh, I'm just feeling like the entire body started reacting, I want to eat this, and suddenly the other person is also the in relationship, whatever, the other person who's sitting, they say immediately, they catch us, and they say, yes, even I want to do that, and you will see there is a shop going on who is exactly selling the same thing. And when you buy it, oh, it is the same thing which is there. Okay, we got it. And when you eat it, you feel a completion inside. It is what, it's the same thing which is vibrating. You become one with the other person. You both have no difference. There is no separation here. It could be between two sisters. It could be between two brothers. It could be between a husband and wife. It could be between two friends. It could be between parent and child. It could be between two teacher and student. It could be anything. The oneness is there when you are completely, when that aspect in you is complete, then everything is completion. Okay, you get to know so many things. Okay, always remember that that the ego needs problems. We do not need problems. We as essence do not need problems. It is the ego. I again repeat, ego is not something very bad or negative or anything. Ego is nothing but the mind wants to see this only in this way, because it is so used to and it feels so comfortable. Oh, my life is going very comfortable. I don't want to explore anywhere. Okay, if it works for you, it is fine, but somewhere you need to be open for new things to coming up also. If you're not allowing the new thing to come up, then you are in the same process, and somewhere there's some learning and some process. The process will be very lengthy. Okay, that's the reason the mind always wants problems and conflicts and enemies to strengthen the sense of separation. Just to strengthen the separation, we are separate kind. I'm this only. Okay, that might be somewhere, I don't know, but here I'm only this. Okay, it wants to feel the separation. You are different, I am different. Your thinking process is different, my thinking process is different. The ego is satisfied with thinking that here this is not going to happen, this is my office, this is not going to happen, your ideas are not going to work, this is my office. It's an ego mind which is saying that. Okay, you are not important, only these people are important. It is the ego mind which is saying that. Okay, because mind wants to be rigid and one go all the time, on which its identity is is dependent. Whenever there is a dependency on your own identification, then all these traits, all these talks, and all these systems come up. In this way, when you want to, you can feel your emotions. You have to, whenever you want, a relationship should be a flower. The aspects which you hold inside you is not actually, when it is when you are able to accept it in totality, whatever aspects you might be having, good, bad, ugly, nasty, whatever is there, you are able to identify it and you are able to transform. Inner transformation is happening whenever these things, like a practice, like how you perform a spiritual practice. The same way you have few relationships in your own essence, right? It could be the parent child. Okay, it could be a man and woman. It could be friend. It could be two sisters or two brothers and sisters, and in opposite way and the pleasant way. There's so many ways. Now, when you explore and when you start bringing a completion into it, now you understand that every relation with that particular thing will always be fine. It always merge as one go. We need to understand this is how it is happening. Right? In this way, a dear and still space of pure awareness would come into being. The knowing, the silent witness, the watcher. When you are witnessing that silence, it is going to be so beautiful. You understand this is how it is. This awareness does not deny the pain. Whenever you're feeling complete from within, it is not denying the pain, but it is going beyond it. Yes, this is there. You accepted the pain. Yes, it is there. It has come from there. So that because of the pain, I might sometime see the situation with the same, through the eyes of the same pain. But it might not be. It is only because when I connect to the past, this might happen. But the minute I come to this present moment now, all will dissolve. And it allows the pain to be and get, and even, the transformation happens at the same time. The minute you accept it, the pain is so giving so much of pain. It is, I am there, please look at me. And now when you have accepted it and you made an understanding with it, made a friendship with it, yes, I understand, it's okay, you be there. When you say that, it will bring us so much of change. It will start learning about you. It will start helping you in knowing more brighter way. It accepts everything and transforms everything. Everything. It is a knowingness. You have to first know what is there inside you. It is not like, you have, faced so many issues, and because of so many good lectures, listening to so many talks, and reading so many books, suddenly you felt very nice and you were transformed, and now you don't bother about pain much. You understand how strong is your pain and how well it got transformed. You attract the situation because the pain will show and come and show its face in front. And then how you react to that tells how much you are transformed from inside. Without coming to that in front, you will really not understand. Okay, you get to know. Okay, there are so many things which comes up. You may choose to not get into it, or moving on into the other things. Always not looking, never try to look at a situation with something else in mind, with some holding in mind. Never look through mind. Go beyond it and understand every aspect. Wherever there is love, it is wonderful. And now what is that in love we are looking for? Is it an addiction? Okay, or it is a completion. Give completion to every of essence, every aspect of your own self which you have given. Then that would bring a beautiful opening for any opportunity. Okay, bring a completion to yourself all the time. That is what the relationships is all about. Okay, today is just the first part. Tomorrow we'll be doing the other parts of in relationships, the second part of the relationship. So for now, we have talked about how the relationships are, and what is the love-hate relationships and the addictions that happen, and how to make the addictive relationships into enlightened relationships, because we have intimate relationships and we want the relationships to work and be wonderful. So how we make it wonderful is all about. Okay, friends. So thank you so much. Thank you for being there. And tomorrow we'll meet again sharp at 7 o'clock in the evening. Thank you, friends. Shit.